should be to prevent gun violence, and how will you protect educators? Do they have to carry guns in school? Ms. Mullane, you're up first.
My mom is an English teacher here in Arlington County, and if my mother ever had to carry a gun into class, I promise she wouldn't be a good shooter. There's no reason that our teachers should be carrying guns in schools. It's completely inappropriate and frankly unsafe. It is more unsafe to arm our teachers than to arm them. So we'll start there. What I would do to introduce proactively as far as gun safety regulations, I think that it's really important that we have started framing things as gun safety, because the concept is not taking guns away, it's about truly keeping our community safe. So it's not gun control but gun safety. But I want to make sure that we're also limiting high capacity magazines. So the fact that you are able to just run off rounds for the sake of the thrill it's not worth the risk. And so limiting high capacity gun magazines. I think we also need to take a serious aim at helping with mental health. The largest time that a gun is used is for suicide and for people that are in domestic disputes. And so for suicide, our mental health care system is frankly in shambles, and most people, even if they do have good health insurance, aren't able to afford a psychologist because most providers aren't accepting insurance. And so I think we need to talk about mental health care in a very serious way when we talk about gun control, but also as far as domestic disputes, we need to make sure that guns are out of the hands of people that have committed violent crimes and that have restraining orders and that have a history of domestic violence.
Thank you, it's a great question. There's so many proposals that I think should be the top ones, but what's really captured my interest has been the red flag bill that passed in Florida. That is a gaping hole in our process. If you remember the case in Florida where the young man actually shot quite a few students at the high school, he had been identified, folks knew he was suffering from mental health issues, the Justice Department knew he was struggling, the mental health counselors knew, they also knew he had access to a firearm, and there was no way to remove that firearm. We've got that same gaping hole in Virginia. So what a red flag bill would do would enable a judge to determine, after looking at a fair amount of evidence, that an individual is in imminent danger to himself or to others, and remove that firearm for a period of time. So it would be a safety valve there. 80% of Virginians believe that a red flag bill is what's needed, and I have to agree with them. It's unfortunate we couldn't get that bill passed last year, even after the tragedy in Florida. It broke my heart. But I don't want to be partisan, but I will have to say that this is one issue that does seem to fall along partisan lines. So if you care deeply about gun safety issues, you really have to look at who the decision makers are, because we have not been able to get those bills out of committee. You know, I put in a bill to limit magazines, that went down. We put in universal background checks bill that was truly much more comprehensive than anything people had seen before, that went down. We put in bills that would require home care organizations to lock the firearms, that went down. I mean, these are, you know, home care agencies and home care day centers taking care of children. So this should give you a sense of how strident the conversation is in Richmond. Thank you.